So you see, that's where the trouble began. That smile. That damn smile.
I'm so excited. It's been so long since I've been able to do this, so. Applause. Crushed
Nailed it. You've good thing you put all that practice in. Every day I come in, he's practicing his Opwash voice, and luckily today is the day that he got to use it.
He's not lying.
But now it's on to the final set of the day. Now, first of all, today you've been watching Europe during the day today. Anything surprised you so far?
Not really. It's a little weird seeing how their meta differs from ours, just because of how different it is. Like, we pick entirely different gods and value entirely different things.
Sure.
But other than that, really no surprises.
We can actually take a little look. First of all, at the team that just won, Team Rival is the one to focus on here. They did just defeat Elevate, moving them on to this matchup now. Look at them.
Wolfie's
I like
feeling
these
it.
poses. Well, let's see if Rival can do the same thing now. Keep the motivation high, keep the happiness rolling into the set against Enix. Rival will be first pick here, so they will also get the opportunity for the first ban.
Has that like big team fight ult with that can be like a 4-man stun, as we saw yesterday with Kiki's team, Oxygen Supremacy. But Outkwang is more of that late game carry and that big burst damage that sometimes you want.
Talking about carries, they did go for a type of hunter, even though it's magical here in that Sol for Enix. So
I wouldn't really consider her a hunter anymore at this point in time in the magical hunter tree. Ever since her reworking with the changing of the way the Fatalis effect goes, I would say that she's more towards the line of a mage, if anything, and she does provide a pretty big burst damage as well as a lot of AoE control with her too. And you combine that on top of a Hu Yi or a Terra, there's a solid bit of AoE coming out on the side of Enix.
well, Veti and Poseidon have locked in, Rival have locked in Poseidon right now. How are we feeling about the composition so far with the last two picks still to come?
I think that's great. I'm not sure how it does specifically against the gods that Enix have picked, but as a whole, comboing that with Thor and Fafnir, it does really well because you can easily Kraken off a Fafnir hammer or a Thor ult. It really synergizes very well.
And there it is. That's the spice.
Interesting.
That's Deathwalker's. That is Deathwalker's Outwash solo. So you know that Rival are not holding anything back. This is a pick he is notorious for completely dominating every time he picks it in the solo lane.
If you know this Alpwash is going solo, Vetium, what are you putting there? What are you putting up against the Alpwash?
I mean, I'd say more than likely Nike's going solo, as I don't think she does as good of a job in support as Terra.
That's true.
I'm still really caught off guard by this.
I think we all are. We heard the Deathwalker may pull out some crazes. It could be Alpwash mid and Poseidon solo, though.
I've had too much experience with EU ranked.
You just know it too well.
Yeah, it's honestly, it works phenomenally.
We're actually going to see some Opwash today. The long-range corpse exploding. This guy is a whole mess. Really excited to see it. Let's jump into the battlefield and see if it's good enough to take Rival above Enix. So Deathwalker over here in the solo lane, 1-on-2. He's not going to be able to get his own blue buff. You see Zelia was able to snatch that one away. That's the go-to when you put a mage in the solo lane. You're just going to abuse him specifically with the buff in mind. Why did he go the Aegis? I mean, instead of the teleport?
Because he knows he's going to get camped a lot, and he's going to take a lot of damage. And if you can immune the big burst damage coming out of Enix's roster, Deathwalker has that sustain built into Opwash's kit. You can pick up those corpses from your 1 and your 3, and then use that to sustain up a little bit.
That's the game plan, at least. I'm very eager to see how this character really works out. He's a god that might be considered, man, one of the few gods that I think players consider unplayable.
Yes, I would agree with that. I mean, that's the overall talk from these pro players is Opwash is just unpickable in every situation, but he does a lot of things well, and that's long-range damage, AoE control that Empty the Crypts just covers in a massive area, especially if Deathwalker can pick up a Gem of Isolation that guarantees his combo damage as well as makes that ultimate even more potent. And he shuts down healers, not in the sense that Odin does necessarily and just straight up anti-heal, but he de-incentivizes you from healing your teammates. That fleeting breath, the third ability, is going to make sure that you get stunned and take more damage if you heal while it's on you. And he's got, I mean, it's working out thus far to be 5 minutes in and haven't died yet, and that's pretty solid. Both Oracles go the way
You know,
of
you
Team
say
Rival.
that sarcastically, but for an Opwash.
No, that was not sarcastically. I meant that sincerely. If we've made it 5.5 minutes in, and he hasn't lost a ton of farm, he hasn't died in lane yet. Xaylia hasn't started to snowball this entire right side, and that's the thing that we really have to watch out for, though, is how far behind does Ice Baby fall because of the lack of pressure out of Deathwalker in that solo lane.
Cherio, the Slayer, takes him down.
I don't know if it would have made a difference in the end, but Vote used up all his remaining mana using those Astral Arrows, guaranteeing the fact that he wouldn't be able to jump away. Xaylia can't jump away either. Ice Baby gets the kill, but that was all Deathwalker's damage.
That was big damage out of the Opwash. You can see him sitting 4th place, on the net worth, and a little bit down lower on the player damage. So a big deal coming out for the solo lane Opwash, and his damage will help secure an early portal demon.
Xaylia has to be a little careful now, though, in this lane up against Deathwalker. He's completed that Spear of the Magus, and that synergizes beautifully with that kit, and there is 0 health in Xaylia's build right now. It is all protection, and it's not even heavy protection dedicated to the magical. The Spirit's Robe, not your biggest protection item. It's more about that passive, but Opwash doesn't have any hard CC to proc that passive. Now it looks like another cloak is the call here for Xaylia. He's got to be worried. Deathwalker is going to start to do significant damage to his opponent.
Yeah, this is when it's going to get scary, and people are going to ask where the Opwash has been. As long as he's able to get that damage off, that's the big key. Deathwalker needs Ice Baby and Kalas to really protect him in that solo lane. Deathwalker right now doesn't seem to need any protecting, putting up into Xaylia's tower, picking up some of the corpses, and that's going to be one of the big gimmicks out of the Opwash.
Yeah, this is the dream scenario. Cherio has been here once, twice. He really hasn't showed his face a lot in this solo lane. Deathwalker's been allowed to free farm all game long. He's now 3/4 of the way done with that Warlock Sash. Level 15, he's highest level in the game, tied with Funball and Vote. This is a really, really great spot for the solo main. And like we mentioned, Chang'e just isn't a good pressure pick. Look at that damage coming out of Deathwalker. Xaylia forced to use his ultimate. Deathwalker never even used his.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with Opwash. Big, long range burst. You see how he maxed out that first and second ability before everything else? The corpse and the corpse explosion. 1, he's gonna just one-shot the wave, and 2, it's gonna deal massive damage to Xaylia as well. Xaylia gets his ultimate forced out. He's forced to go back to base, and he doesn't have the teleport, which means he's gotta walk there, all while the rest of his team handles the Gold Fury. It dies, and either way, that's what you're looking for. Right side, Enix looking for the tier 1 tower. Tier 2 tower push out of Vote, likely to be stopped just by Cherio Pie, his lonesome. Everybody else here just, again, watching as it goes down.
But again, it's all about this tower siege. There's the the Crypts from Deathwalker, but doing a lot of damage, but no follow-up off of it.
And see right there, I would have liked to see that ultimate be used on the tower, because at that point, that's just a diversion.
There's a dunk down from Ice Baby. Xaylia was waiting for him with that Sentinel of Zeus, and that shield provides no damage for the Kraken. Ice Baby in trouble, just able to dash out of danger.
Pushing forward is Enix, a little bit of heal up for Deathwalker himself. It's at half HP, that's what I was going for, but it wasn't there yet. Very low, actually. Can Team Rival snatch it away? Absolutely not. There's Gold Fury number 3 for Enix.
Kalas trying to get away Ice into the back line, but then teleports right into the damage. The Deathwalker ultimate, though, is tearing through Enix.
And that's going to bring Big Man Tings down very low. Funball down to about half HP, but just not enough damage after the fact. A nice meditation brings Team Rival back up to a healthy position, but not really where they want to be.
Not quite. Look at all those sustain after that meditation. Kalas up over the wall looking for Cherio. There's his purification beads. Supernova coming down from Lobster, but just doesn't do enough damage.
So Team Rival now on the offensive, looking to take care of Enix's tier 1 tower. Let's listen to Team Rival.
I need back. I don't have enough mana. Portal's gonna spawn soon though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like, I can't do anything about it. I have like 0 mana. Let's go fish med to me off the back.
They're gonna
be careful. I'm looking for more ban, man. Fuck that shit.
I'm stunning. I stun.
Can you get out? I'm on my.
They're getting the tower, dude.
Yeah, we can't stop. Yeah.
They have a sentry here.
Ice Baby takes to the sky, trying to pick the target. Lands on Cherio. There's the Crypts coming out from the solo lane at Puch. Vote capitalizes off of it. Takes to the sky. Couple of shots, but I think that be that. Team Rival able to bite back, still trailing by about 4,000 gold, looking to shorten that up to 3.
Collis taking up the tower. Meditation comes up off cooldown and heals everyone on Team Rival healthy enough to make sure they can answer back with a tier 2 mid tower of their own. Lobster and Big Man Tings are still dead for quite some time, and it looks like Rival want to get this Phoenix.
Yeah, that shell pop preemptively just going right in there. Everybody knows. And Enix trying to keep them off the Phoenix. No damage dealt yet to the structure. Deathwalker down pretty low. Nice jump in coming out from Azalea. But Cherio not ready to finish him off along with Funball. Have to play it safe.
Look at the self-sustain from Deathwalker. He can just spam those corpses. Remember, every time you pick up a corpse, your Surge of the Dead and your first ability, it's going to go on a lower cooldown, and you can just spam it. Look at him. He's full health. He's completely full health.
That's how it works, man.
Crazy stuff.
Share it. And see, I love the way that the corpses work right there. Creates a virtual minefield where if you walk over it, Deathwalker will just explode the corpses. You're going to take a ton of damage. Deathwalker, however, he's the one taking a ton of damage. The ultimate comes up just in time and it forces Enix off for the moment. But that's it. The crypts are gone. In comes Zalia looking for the jump. Deathwalker down to about 60% HP. Enix pushing forward, right and left side. Cherry on the left, everybody else on the right.
Giant.
So much fun to watch, aggro. Honestly, like, this is just a treat. We get to see a little bit of Opwash, who kind of does what he's supposed to be doing. He's 24,000 damage. He's 24,000 damage in total. The number 2 is going to be 18k in the jungle Chang'e. So he's doing what he's supposed to do, but unfortunately for his team, the other pieces aren't really falling into place, and Enix is able to take advantage.
I mean, this is, the focus has been heavily onto Deathwalker, and he still hasn't died. And in a lot of instances, Enix is using a lot of cooldowns, a few too many, to try and kill him. And Rival just has not been able to make them pay. Ice Baby on this Thor, bottom of the player damage charts for his team, just hasn't been effective this game. And that is really the only issue that Rival's having right now. It is not the Opwash. He's had a phenomenal game.
He's done it. He did what he's supposed to.
Yeah, doing a ton of damage and absorbing a lot of cooldowns and staying alive. Deathwalker's had a phenomenal game.
That's his whole job. That's what he's supposed to do. But everything else, as I said, just not falling into place. Funball and Lobster just destroying these structures. Wow, ton of damage coming out specifically onto the towers. Enix, right side, looking for the push onto the tier 2 tower. Crypts coming out, not Crypts, but the corpses coming out just now. Ice Baby to the sky. Perhaps a little bit too soon. Group up is good, lands on one, and Funball jumps away. No harm, no foul. Crypts come out, Enix got what they want. They bait out 2 ultimates, and that's a win.
But they do lose Waxing Moon and Sentinel of Zeus. Zalia really needs that shield in order to frontline effectively right now.
Funball jumping backwards. There's a good stun out of the Thor, but it's better with the jump and the knock-up. Zalia gets one. Funball gets the other. Great play coming out of Enix so far. Tier 2 tower in trouble.
It took until 31 minutes, but Opwash is finally gonna die. Zalia does it. Vote finds Lobster with the snipes, but it's only Vote and Wolfie left alive to try and defend their Titan.
Fire Giant now started, but will be leashed. Collis jumps forward. Here comes damage out of the soul. So there's the Titan under attack, but Funball takes out Collis. It's a 5-on-4. Wolfie's low in the backside. 2 kills for Funball. Vote takes to the sky while Cherio takes down the mid laner. 3 people are dead, aggro. The Titan is dead. That's an F6.
There it is. Enix takes game number 1. It wasn't a quick one, and it was close throughout. But the Opwash solo does not come out and surprise the veteran players.
Yeah, that one was fun to watch. Like, not even kidding. We saw the Opwash do Opwash, but the team didn't fall into place.
No, a little bit unfortunate. I mean, the strategy there was sound. You could tell exactly why Rival was picking up that Opwash, and it worked. I mean, Chang'e was not able to pressure him in lane, and he got a ton of free farm, and he did a ton of damage, and he survived forever.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day here, coming into game number 2, I don't mind if they pick the Opwash again. It worked exactly the way it was supposed to. All right, you might mind.
Yeah,
I want to see it.
I don't know.
I want to see it. Pick somebody better in mid lane. There are so many other options. Let's toss it over to the desk and see what they have to say. I'll fight aggro myself.
Sure.
Wait a second, like, you're talking about having Poseidon not in the mid lane and instead just keep Opwash. Is that what you're telling me? That's what the issue was?
I have no issues with the outwash. I very much agree with F-Dot in that
Hang on,
center.
Betsim's got a face, and what's that face about?
I have the issues with the upwash.
What's the issue?
Really, you know,
Top damage, bad ones.
well, yes, but he doesn't provide the front line that you'll get out of any other solo laner. Sure, he'll win lane. He can stay alive. He can do well in his matchup, as he did. I think he almost soloed the Nike. It just, I don't know. He really doesn't. In my opinion, it's really not the best pick.
Outwash might not have the front line that you'd typically want, but against a team like Enix's draft in that last game, I think that it was a very smart pick. The Outwash solo, it's something that Deathwalker has had plenty of success on. And while it hasn't come out on LAN environment, so to say, or even during a regular split, I know for a fact that that is a very strong god choice for him.
Outwash.